Hey NoteTakers! Welcome to my YouTube channel. If you're a returning viewer, thank you for tuning in and welcome back. If you're a new viewer, welcome. I hope you enjoy the videos because we have sun this side. If you're a subscriber, thank you for subscribing to my channel. If you aren't subscribing yet, what are you waiting for? Click the subscribe button to join in on the fun. Don't be shy. Alrighty, let's get into some legal content. So on today's video, I will just be going through my background, how you should engage with my YouTube posts, channel changes for July, and the final part of going through Nene Leakes' lawsuit and some closing remarks. Just some background on myself. My name is RHOBH, but I prefer Ria. I am currently a 4th year UniCPA law student, just wanting to engage with other law students, individuals who are lovers of the law, soccer fans, and to connect with viewers from around the world. If you have any content suggestions or just wanting to reach out, feel free to email me at rianoted@gmail.com. Again, my channel email is rianoted@gmail.com, where you can share some feedback. Okay, so the channel change for July is that I changed my YouTube banner temporarily. It's Real Housewives of Atlanta month. So that's just the little channel change for July. Also, make sure you check my YouTube post section regularly, as I did post that July is Real Housewives of Atlanta month. Okay, before I start going through Nene's lawsuit, I just want to say thank you to my subscribers. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It means a lot. The subscribers, the comments, it really means a lot. You guys know my channel mantra. Let's say it all together. Ria Noted will grow, Ria Noted will do well, and Ria Noted will reach more people. Okay, so for this video, I will be discussing the lawsuit of Nene Leakes. Make sure to watch part 1, 2, and 3. This is part 4. Again, you may or may not have noticed, I changed my YouTube banner. I have declared July Real Housewives of Atlanta month, as the season 16 reunion is playing this July. Part 1 aired on 13 July, part 2 aired on 20 July, and part 3 will air on 27 July. So my channel will have quite a bit of Atlanta Housewives content this July. I have also been posting a lot of shorts. Cooking with Kelly shorts, shorts on Portia's music, shorts on Drew's music, and shorts on some memorable Atlanta Housewives reunions. So feel free to watch these shorts. Let's share, like, comment, and enjoy a Real Housewives of Atlanta July. Anyway, today I am continuing in discussing Nene Leakes' lawsuit. So let's not forget, the plaintiff is Nene. The defendants are NBC, Bravo, True Entertainment, Truly Original, Andy Cohen, and doors 1 to 25. Okay, make sure to watch parts 1, 2, and 3 just to have a bit of a catch up. Okay, so you guys know I am not super well versed in American law. I'm trying my best and I'm learning. So in parts 1 to 3, I go through the lawsuit paragraph by paragraph. Part 1 was me going through paragraph 1 to 34. In part 2, I went through paragraph 35 to 69. And in part 3, I went through paragraph 70 to paragraph 115. So today I will start at paragraph 119. So remember, we're going through the factual allegations in Nene Leakes' complaint. So just as a reminder of the definition of factual allegations, in my opinion, it is when a plaintiff makes statements that are specific so that the defendant also has a chance to defend themselves. Basically, the factual allegations are sort of like a roadmap. They show the events that led to the plaintiff making a complaint. With factual allegations, in my opinion, you want to be as detailed and as specific as possible, because if your allegations aren't super detail orientated, or if they are vague, it might lead to a dismissal, or because of your vagueness, you give the defendant some leeway, and you don't want that. So be as specific as possible. Okay, so we're going to start at paragraph 119. So paragraph 119 says that in June 2020, Nene received a call from an executive who said that Nene was to sit out for season 13. So the executive says, quote, "I want you to sit out for season 13. You can come back on season 14." End quote. And Nene was obviously rightfully shocked. So for me, paragraph 119, I feel like Nene was indeed being sidelined. She was told by an executive of production at Real Housewives of Atlanta that she should sit out season 13 but come back for season 14. Just really odd. Again, watch parts 1, 2, and 3. It'll make more sense. Then we move on to paragraph 120, where Nene was like, I need a reason as to why I'm being sidelined. Why must I sit out for season 13 but come back for season 14? It doesn't make sense. So paragraph 120 provides the explanation as to why the executive wanted Nene to sit out. So they wanted Nene to sit out because she walked off the season 12 virtual reunion. Walked off, like, you know what I mean, the virtual reunion. Which, when I read it, it was weird, because there's a lot of housewives that walk off reunions, but they still come back the next season. So why is it when Nene walks off, it's a problem? So it felt like they were punishing her, which is just really weird. These defendants are like playing mind games. It's weird. Okay, then we move on to paragraph 122, where Nene was like, okay, if you guys are going to kick me off the show, can I at least have a proper send-off? Which I feel like she deserves, because again, Real Housewives of Atlanta is the house that Nene built. When I think of Real Housewives of Atlanta, Nene is the first housewife I think of. So it says in the complaint, Miss Leakes begged, if they were going to kick her off the show, at least give her a send-off that was appropriate in light of her many years of service. But even this request was denied. So paragraph 122 shows how Nene, she had to essentially beg for a send-off, but that request was sadly denied. So to me, paragraph 122 shows that Bravo, NBC, True Entertainment, they seem to not treat their employees too well. Okay, then we move on to paragraph 127, where Nene was calling out Andy for his race-based mistreatment of her. And I guess because she was speaking out, they cut off future negotiations for continued employment on Real Housewives of Atlanta. So essentially, there was no way she was coming back. So I feel like paragraph 127 is NBC Bravo protecting Andy, like how they protected Kim Zolciak. Okay, then we move on to paragraph 129, where it basically speaks to how the defendants sidelined her and essentially kicked her out of the house that she built. Because, I mean, for me, if I'm being honest, watching Real Housewives of Atlanta without Nene is weird. I watched season 13, 14. I didn't finish 15. The only reason I watched 16 was because of the sad situation with Britt Edie. If there's season 17, I don't think I'll watch. The only way I'll watch is if Nene comes back. Otherwise, I like watching old seasons. It's fun. Okay, then we move on to paragraph 130, which says, upon information and belief, the defendants, NBC, Bravo, and True, actively worked behind the scenes to blacklist Nene, interfering with other potential employment, ensuring that not only will she not work for them, but that she can't work for others. This is post-termination retaliation. So they're basically blocking opportunities. I feel like in essence kind of blacklisting her, which is, these defendants play mind games, like wow. So now we will be looking at the claims for relief. Keep in mind, I'm not well versed in American law, so I tried my best in defining what a claim for relief is. So for me, from my understanding, it is a pleading, basically a statement showing that the pleader is entitled to some form of relief because they were harmed by the defendant's actions, that the plaintiff has a right to recover against the defendant. And I read a bit more about it in the Federal Rules of Civil Procedure, Rule 8. It was really fun reading the Federal Rules of Civil Procedure. Because I watch a lot of American legal shows, so like watching it is one thing, but like reading about it, it was really interesting. So let's take a look at the claims for relief. So the first claim, it deals with retaliation. If you look at paragraph 145, it says that as to the individual defendants, each of them was causally linked throughout their own actions to the retaliatory conduct alleged herein. So like blocking her from getting work, making her not film season 13 but come back for 14, that retaliatory behavior. Then we move on to paragraph 149, which is, I think, the plaintiff, in other words Nene, showing that the defendants had knowledge of their conduct, but they continued this retaliatory conduct. Paragraph 150 just speaks to how the plaintiff has suffered economic losses and will continue to suffer damages. So remember, it's claim for relief, so it's the pleadings. Then we move on to the second claim, which deals with discrimination. It says here discrimination based on race, color, ethnicity, and ancestry. Paragraph 159 reads, the plaintiff, i.e. Nene, was subject to adverse employment action because of race, color, ethnicity, and or ancestry. And reading the complaint, I kind of see what she's talking about. How the different housewives were treated, like how differently Teresa was treated, Dorit was treated, Erica was treated, Kim was treated, even Andy Cohen himself. It feels like the defendants always protect these people, but when she speaks out, they block her opportunities. So for the first claim for relief, the plaintiff, i.e. Nene, seeks to recover attorney's fees, and then it's the same second claim, she's seeking to recover attorney fees. Then we move on to the third claim, which is about hostile work environment harassment. As we see in paragraph 168, how the plaintiff, i.e. Nene, she was subjected to severe workplace harassment and the creation of a hostile work environment. And then we move on to paragraph 171, how the defendants had knowledge of the harassing and hostile conduct, but they disregarded her protected rights. And then for relief, she is seeking to recover attorney fees. The fourth claim is for a declaratory judgment. So I think that a declaratory judgment is where the court defines the legal relationship between the parties and what legal rights each party has. So the court makes it clear. So if it's unclear what the legal rights of each party are, a declaratory judgment helps. So this was a fourth claim for relief. So it appears that the plaintiff, i.e. Nene, she was seeking a declaratory judgment to see what legal rights each party has. So paragraph 180 is saying the plaintiff seeks a declaratory judgment that she is not bound to arbitrate. If she is to arbitrate, she will after severance of the offending terms. So I just want to explain a bit. As I was reading the complaint, Nene's employment contract, it was that of a non-negotiable contract. So it was you had no leeway to, how can I say? Like it was very tight. It wasn't, that's why she wants the declaratory judgment to know what rights she has. So she wants the offending terms in the contract, as it says here, severance of the offending terms. I think offending terms such as, in her contract it said that if you are a victim of discrimination, if you pursue a discrimination claim, you can do so in a confidential arbitration, but it allows the defendants to bring their claims in court. So the plaintiff is kind of like their rights are limited. So the defendant, they're allowed to bring their claims in court, but the plaintiff, the victim of discrimination, it has to be done in a confidential arbitration, which it denies parties the constitutional rights of access to the courts. It's kind of like how in South Africa we have the CCMA. So to me, in reading it, it felt like you had no way to take your claim to court, which was denying one's right of access to the courts. As it says here in 180, the plaintiff, i.e. Nene, saying that the agreement is unenforceable and contrary to public policy of the United States, the states of Georgia, and, if applicable, the state of New York. So Nene's saying that her employment contract is contrary to public policy, in that you kind of don't have a right of access to the courts. I hope I explained that properly. So those are the plaintiff's claims against the defendants. 1, retaliation. 2, discrimination. 3, hostile work environment harassment, and seeking a declaratory judgment. So a lot of the claims for relief, they deal with 42 USC 1981. See here, it's there. So I was wondering what that was. So USC stands for United States Code. It's basically how certain rights are to be guaranteed to all American citizens. So section 1981, it only applies to intentional racial discrimination. So this is what 42 United States Code section 1981 says. All persons within the jurisdiction of America shall have the same right in every state and territory to make and enforce contracts, to sue, be parties, give evidence, and to the full and equal benefit of all laws. Yada, yada, yada. So that's what 42 USC stands for. Okay, just as a side note, I was reading paragraph 182, which is basically the plaintiff, i.e. Nene. She wants the arbitration agreement to be determined valid. So to me, it seems like she's questioning the validity of the arbitration agreement. So if the court finds the arbitration agreement to not be valid, the plaintiff just wants a declaration that she's allowed to proceed with her claims in court. So either the arbitration agreement with the offending terms is valid, or the agreement isn't valid and the plaintiff proceeds with her claims in court. Because remember, her employment contract, it doesn't allow her to access to courts. It allows the defendant access to courts. So I think that's what she's also arguing. So, as I said, the claims for relief 123, they deal with Section 42, United States Code 1981. Okay, so now I'll move on to pray for relief. Just basically what the defendant needs. Sorry, what the plaintiff needs. Kind of to deal with the wrongs that the plaintiff committed. So first, for general and special damages, for loss of earnings and earning capacity, because remember NBC were blocking her, blacklisting her from finding work. For punitive or exemplary damages, for attorney fees, for declaratory relief, for injunctive relief, for such other and further relief as the court deems just and proper. Okay, so in reading the prayer for relief portion of the complaint, I wondered what an injunctive relief is. It's basically a court order that requires a defendant to stop doing something. So in Nene's case, her injunctive relief to stop the unlawful practices that she alleged in the complaint. So harassment, racially offensive conduct, racial segregation, all of that. She's seeking an injunctive relief. That's my understanding. So yeah, that was the Nene Leakes complaints in a nutshell. I know that she went back to NBC and did some work for them. I still don't understand that, but okay. But yeah, the lawsuit was dismissed. As we see here, it says joint stipulation of dismissal without prejudice. So, joint stipulation of dismissal without prejudice is obviously an American legal term. So I'm going to try and do my best to break it down. So first, I think joint stipulation refers to both parties. I think joint kind of implies that. So joint meaning the plaintiff and the defendant. So this joint stipulation thing. So the parties, the plaintiff, i.e. Nene, and the defendants, i.e. NBC, Bravo, True Entertainment, Truly Original, Andy Cohen, and those 1 through 25. So either both parties came together and they agreed on some form of settlement or agreement. That's what my understanding is of joint stipulation. Without prejudice, in my opinion, it means that, yes, the claim is dismissed. And I think without prejudice is the plaintiff being allowed like a voluntary dismissal. It means the claim is dismissed, but the plaintiff, i.e. Nene, can bring another suit. So essentially Nene can refile the claim again. So again, I looked at the Federal Rules of Civil Procedure and looked at Rule 41A. Rule 41A allows a plaintiff to withdraw suit if it appears that continuing the suit will cause the plaintiff to suffer hardship. Also, you can withdraw suit if the court finds that a party is acting malified. So if a party is acting in bad faith. Those are the reasons I think that one would withdraw suit, I think. Again, I'm not well versed in American law. I'm just trying my best. So yeah, that is the end of my Nene Leakes lawsuit exploration. We went through the parties, the factual allegations, the claims for relief, the prayer for relief, and lastly, the dismissal. It was really, really interesting reading the complaints because, again, I'm not well versed in American law. It was really interesting reading it. I don't know, I just love reading case law. It's fun for me. And I had fun reading the Federal Rules of Civil Procedure. All 189 pages. It was fun. So yeah, I had fun reading the complaints, reading about the facts, the parties, looking at the different Housewives franchises, and reading about the house that Nene Leakes built, the Real Housewives of Atlanta. It was, however, incredibly disheartening reading about the hostile work environment the Atlanta housewives had to endure, because everyone has a right to work in a workplace free from discrimination, free from hostility, free from retaliation, and free from racially insensitive conduct. Alrighty. I did my best to go through Nene's complaints. I'm not well versed in American law now, but I tried to the best of my ability. Again, please make sure to watch parts 1, 2, and 3. And once you're done, make sure to watch my shorts. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Feel free to share your thoughts in the comment section. Okay, before my closing remarks, I just want to play a snippet of Nene's song. Aside from listening to Addison Rae, I've been listening to the song. I discovered it while I was doing research on her. Let me see if we'll play. I love that song. And yes, I was dancing while I was playing. The song is called Come and Get This. You know, when I'm listening to the song, I'm like, girl, can you please tell us how you get the money? Because we'll be broke out here. But yeah, it's a really funny song. I love it. It's really cool. It's called Come and Get This, Honey, as you can see. And I started also watching her YouTube interviews because she has her own channel. And this is how her show starts. And I was like, oh, it's her song. So I didn't catch on until now in my research. So yeah, I had really a lot of fun researching Nene Leakes. If you're a regular viewer, you know I hate littering. My mantra has always been, stop littering. Please stop littering, NoteTakers. We only have one planet, so let's all do better. Stop littering and look after our planet. Don't litter, do better. Alrighty, I hope you guys enjoy this video. Don't forget to comment, like, share, and subscribe. I am the CEO/employee/boss, and this channel is my daily bread. It's my job, so help a lady out by subscribing. I'm on the road to 250 subscribers. I hope you guys will stay tuned and that you watch my new videos. So yeah, that is my last bit of Real Housewives of Atlanta content. I will obviously carry on posting shorts, but my Real Housewives of Atlanta July will be coming to an end at the end of July. And as I said in my YouTube posts, 4 July to 31 July is Real Housewives of Atlanta month. So as from 1 August, I will probably be covering something else. In closing, I shall say, first, thank you for listening. Second, don't litter, do better. Third, watch Full Housewives of Atlanta, and lastly, see you soon. Thank you so much, note takers. Until next time.